That belongs in a museum.
Here with Twisting Nether to set up the combo where nothing
Well,
is
he's
left
just
on
going to
board.
hope that it's able to go off this turn. And
Oh man, I don't like that.
yeah, it's not going to be the case. Xixo does have the Power of the Wild as an option to remove this Doomsayer, or Swipe as an option to remove this Doomsayer, so I really like the Power of the Wild. He gets a really solid board development going on.
I'm not sure about the... I don't understand why you would tap into Doomsayer. If that was even a line of play you would consider ever, then I don't know. It's really risky.
The Doomsayer did absorb, 7 damage, so it wasn't a total waste.
Agreed.
But he just have to be Renoing here.
What do you think about Senjin, don't tap, Reno on 7, Twisting Nether on 8, and reset?
That
Because...
sounds terrible.
But is this better?
I think this maybe it allows you to possibly do something, different next turn.
God,
Which wow, that's a 10-10.
But an Xixo as well is if you bait the Nether on 8, or force it rather, not even bait, then an Xixo comes down and that's a really rough minion to deal with without Twisting Nether.
How does your opponent kill the 10-10? they just don't.
What is this?
They have to Siphon Soul it, then Fandrel sticking around, and the Azure Drake sticking around, so that's another 9 guaranteed damage, basically.
Oh, man, Sylvanas has to be played with
Sylvanas
PO for the dream.
take the 10-10.
All right, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. 33% to steal the big minion. And even then, there's a Mulch possibly in Xixo's deck, so it's not quite...
Oh, he gets the 10-10. All right, he's possibly in it because of that. He's possibly in it.
But the Fandrel...
Besides the second Twisting Nether, but obviously there's no second Twisting Nether in Reno Lock that could clean up this board, so...
You gotta go for the obvious double taunt on the defensive Argus, Imgang Boss, Bran. It's not a bad defensive board, but it's likely not gonna get you very far if the opponent's got any more damage, and it looks like Swipe and Feral Rage will do short work of this, and Xixo will connect. So...
That's a big dragon. When that connects to your face, you don't usually live. It's like the high main rule for Yogg Druid, right?
I mean, honestly, this has been that was a really interesting game. I keep going back to that decision to play Reno early, because
well, he had to. It wasn't a decision.
No, but
it
he
was
could have
forced.
There was a a point where he played Senjin. If it lived, then you Reno for almost 30, and then you go for the Twisting Nether on a full board instead.
Well,
but you probably died
but
Roar.
then you're not interacting with the board at all on that turn, and are already, which can allow him to just gain enormous amounts of armor as he tanks up throughout the game.
Right. One of the big things here is you need to keep in mind, for those who may not be familiar with the deck, the Brand plus Shield Bearer is ridiculous survivability against a deck that's trying to burst you down. So at this point, XieShuai needs to find more ways to beat down Xixo through minions, but Alex Straza's got very marginal use at this point, given the fact that Xixo's already at 17.
Yeah.
Lots
it's going to do 2 damage.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 damage, pay 9 mana. Maybe that's just what he needs late game. Sometimes it comes down to that, but I don't know. Alex is not expecting it. Really cool. Oh, wow.
Makes a lot of sense.
Are we seeing the Ravaging Ghoul double hit? What's the reasoning there? Huh. Mana count miscalculation?
Yeah, maybe he thought he had 9 mana. We see him
Play the
kind of
Acolyte.
face palm a little bit there as he does
Yikes.
this. And,
Shadow Flame. Coil. Oh my god, Xixo.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him about that one. That's definitely a red flag there for sure. That seems like it would be a lot better to play the Acolyte rather than the Brand there. Maybe the nerves of the finals getting to him a little bit.
A little bit of a focus slip. We'll see exactly how that works out. Looks like Shadow Flame is going to be picked up, and this is precisely what Xixo played into really hard, and just like that, what looked like a very solid position goes and falls apart.
It's just not nearly as ahead as he could have been, and we're going to see him just set up the Doomsayer here to kind of get back the tempo that he just lost from that Shadow Flame. And
Alex Straza for fun. Kodo's pretty sweet, and the beatdown keeps on coming.
Yeah, Xixo is not going to be able to get the tempo back, and instead is going to be losing more tempo because of that Kodo pickup there.
And the combo's almost already there for XieShuai.
Which is definitely something to keep track of, because a lot of the times people don't play around the combo until they see the Emperor come down. So XieShuai holding on the coin allows his combo to be a lot more flexible.
You're not using that hero power anytime soon.
Yeah.
Although it's a 5-4, so right now the armor count for Xixo, a hint that he maybe doesn't know there's no Jiraxis, is if he never plays Harrison, maybe there's that uncertainty still in his mind.
XieShuai extends very aggressively onto the board here. Maybe XieShuai believes...
Or take the board back, rather. So So how do you play that? You kind of have to execute, or do you just Cthulhu everything down?
Looks like you Cthulhu everything down. There's only 6 health. You got 12 missiles. Odds are you're going to clear everything up, and now you got this massive Cthulhu out there.
31 health right there for Xixo. Still out of reach for combo, and he's able to deflect the follow-ups. Wouldn't be surprised. Ignore Sylvanas.
XieShuai is taking the Cthulhu, so
yeah.
Maybe XieShuai isn't aware that Xixo's not running Doomcaller. This play heavily signals that.
He doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Or he just really wants to steal the 12-12. In this case, that's a really good curve for Xixo. Picks up something to play after the Armor Up Shield Slam Twin Emperors. That's really good.
Yeah, an excellent pickup there. Fills out his curve quite nicely. Takes care of that nasty Cthulhu, and
more importantly,
loads up the board.
Good luck going through this with your combo, sir. And you've used Twisting Nether, you've used Shadow Flame.
Yeah.
Have fun.
He's got Hellfire left, right? And that's his last card. And he's tapping
Hellfire was used early.
Oh, no, Rag is his last card, okay.
He used Hellfire very early on the 4-2 and the 2-1.
Now.
That was nuts.
So Rag is his very last card. It's able to start making its way through these from you.
And then you can't play Deathwing
ever.
ever.
You can't Deathwing unless you find
Maybe you just trade with Execute and wait it out then. He's in fatigue. Good luck with your arena win. Then you play Sylv. Maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind playing Sylv now that your opponent can take it, though, and again, set up that spot where you can't play Deathwing anymore. But
he's got Brawls.
They lose their combo.
And they're dead.
Yeah, they're only doing 1 damage a turn with the Sylvanas, right?
Yeah. You got Brawls, so.
Sure, makes some sense.
Dark Peddler. Another PO would actually enable a double combo.
Ooh,
oh my goodness.
Almost every turn, he's really just trying to bomb train Xixo in the middle stages of the game, and it didn't work out for him as Xixo just kept having answer after answer. And still has answers now, even though XieShuai is all the way in fatigue. Working out quite nicely for him, you know?
Yeah.
The last time he banned the Warlock, now that he's gotten some more information about the Warlock, you see him just very comfortable taking this matchup on just because he knows the Warlock deck and is able to, you know, abuse it.
You know what?
Very high-level play from Xixo. Ability to read his opponent's decks, figure things out as the tournament's been progressing. And
Axe also works very well. And
the Fireworks works very
well.
well.
Slam is even better.
Slam works well. I don't know if Slam's necessarily better than Ghoul. Ghoul, your 2-2 dies, but you get a 3-3.
But now you can deal. You can kill a wolf here if it comes out, and then you have a 3-3 to contest the second one.
And you can execute the other one even if you wanted to go full board clear. Then your opponent only has 2 mana to develop.
And you have the Blackwing Corruptor in this case, followed by the Crusher. So I guess that might work out.
Yeah. We do see him just opt to go the more passive route and just go with the Slam here.
Huh.
And it's the War Axe.
Whoa.
That was the play.
That was like, you know what? I feel like this is subpar, but never mind.
I did. I did feel like that was subpar as well until he hit the War Axe.
And then suddenly the War Axe comes out.
That was the best play.
Very good. The Blackwing Corruptor coming out on curve, that's a very good play just in general to have. It's very tough for Shaman to deal 4 unless they have the Stormcrack or spell damage established already with Bolt.
Yeah.
So
I think you go for the totem roll here. If you hit spell power, you bolt it. If not, you maybe play things from below.
Yeah.
Or discover a play from there. But easiest totem roll. The tournament
of the century. These plays, man,
they're on top of it.
They know
are
what's
crushing
up.
it.
They know what's up. I wouldn't argue. You can't argue with these guys.
No, you can't.
They know what they're doing.
They know exactly what they're doing.
Double Ghoul. Tournament
of the century. It's absolutely insane. You know?
I mean, this is a really good play, actually, from XieShuai. Like, how the hell do you do this? On the
what
Overload.
Makes it so great is the Overload. Yeah, the Fire Elemental can no longer come down on one of these 3-3s.
But he's looking right now, like, the Frothing goes up to 4. So he's looking at 8, 11.
Yeah.
3 more. So 15 damage on board right there for XieShuai. Garrison Commander would be lethal.
Yeah, he was thinking about not attacking the frog to limit the damage that was coming in, and
just like
tap
that
into Grom. That's gonna close it out.
Yeah, good Fiery War Axe to make it to the mid.
Happy with its performance through the first 2 games where Xixo was able to pick it apart. So he queues up here with the Cthulhu Druid versus the mid-range Shaman. You have to give the edge slightly towards the mid-range Shaman in this matchup, I think.
If you go in blind, yes, but with a hand like this, the double innervate can definitely put a lot of pressure. You need the Hex. Not sure how often you keep it on your mulligan, though. I mean, the Wild Growth, he's on the coin, right? The Druid's on the coin.
Depends how much information XieShuai is going to reveal here. We do see XieShuai locks in his mulligan
keeping
4 cards. When you see your Druid opponent keep 4 cards, you hold on to the Hex. That's a misplay by XieShuai there, not roping out the mulligan. He could have waited until the very, very end, never revealed the fact that he was keeping 4 cards, and then Xixo would have most likely mulliganed away the Hex.
And just like that, I think we're going to see a double Innervate play on the coin for Dark Araco. I have nothing against the fact that he's doing this, but usually when you use up double Innervate and the coin, you just have terrible follow-ups on 2.
Well, he has 3 plays, though, so it's not too bad.
Sure.
He's most likely going to be able to stabilize a brand behind this, and he's going to be able to just either gobble that Tunnel Trog if he wants or just start putting on a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
And I would recommend, I guess, killing the Tunnel Trog. That guy grows.
It only takes a Lightning Bolt to make your life a bit miserable.
And here is where XieShuai gets punished for the fact that he snap-kept his mulligan without roping it out. He gave Xixo the information that he was keeping 4 cards, and Xixo absolutely destroys him for giving him that information because Xixo was able to keep the Hex off the mulligan because he knew that.
He's got 2 frogs even, which is even better because he plays the Tunnel Tree, Disciple of Cthulhu, which, again, helps clean up the board quite a bit. But I like that Azure Drake quite a lot, man.
I like it, yeah. I either like the Azure Drake or, you know, hiding brand behind maybe
Druid of the
Druid of the Claw. I don't
There's a lot of plays, man. You can clean this up.
Interesting. He really opts the clear here. Is he unaware that it's mid-range? Maybe thinks it's aggressive.
No, he knows what it is.
He knows what it is?
He knows what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have tempted to go with the Azure Drake there.
Agreed. I think the card draw is very important, especially since you've committed double Innervate, which is a lot of card usage as a second player. Okay, that's a very interesting play because it telegraphs that you're going to finish this guy off with either a swipe, so you're trying to represent a bluff, or you're going to be using your hero power again with a 4-drop on turn 6.
Yeah, and
it's
with
one or
the
other.
Taunt Totem being rolled here, that allows Xixo to cleanly storm this board off and go face. XieShuai was trying to play around the storm by getting that hero power in there, just making sure that he could clear off the minion. And unable to clear off the minion now that Xixo was able to get taunt. He had done that many big minions to Hex yet. There's so many big minions in the Cthulhu Druid deck. There's Rag. There's another 5/7.
Yeah, Dark Arakoa.
Dark Arakoa. There's Cthulhu himself. You know, just a lot of juicy targets for Hex. But yeah, I was almost tempted to say, you know, hexing one of these might be correct, as Xixo's starting to run out of resources.
Yeah, and XieShuai has a ton of them. It feels like the Azure Drake replenishing the hand here on the back. Oh my god!
Wow.
If there's a coffin with Xixo's name on it, it just came up.
Yeah, for real.
Oh,
and he's just completely out of resources now.
Honestly, if the last draw had been... it's a mythical thing.
It's a mythical creature.
Whoever told you that existed...
Oh, there's South Park.
Just sue them.
Just sue them.
Dude, Raven Idol off of Fangel is pretty good.
Time to get a Nourish off of it, right? Oh, he goes for minion, gets the Dark Iron.
Wait, he got offered 2 Dark Iron Dwarfs. He had a Black Knight. Take the Black Knight. Oh, Wisps.
There we go. That's
now
a good
we're talking, ladies and gents. And down goes Xixo. And XieShuai wins this one, friend. Bad matchup for XieShuai, but it's Cold Sorcerer. You can deal with Sorcerer's Apprentices. So really, the Mana Worm is the other card left over that you have to handle.
Sure. Maybe he just feels like Demon Wrath's good enough for early game removal on his own that he can survive to Mountain Giant just on the back of Demon Wrath.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it seems to indicate. I mean, there's Imgang Boss, Doomsayer in the deck as well.
I guess it's not.
Oh my god.
It's not unrealistic.
That is insane.
Hey, here is Xixo. He has the ability to, you know, coin Flamewaker if he wanted to. That's really vulnerable to Shadow Bolt. So we see him just drop the Sorcerer's Apprentice out there, pass, hold on to the coin for the Flamewaker. He's got the ability to, you know, Flamewaker.
Oh, but I got bad news, man.
Wow, 2 fireballs already. Xixo is probably, you know, look to try and kill this guy before...
He's vomiting all this hand.
Before turn 6, yeah.
So we're talking 2 damage here, an extra...
Coin Frostbolt face, I think, every time here.
Yeah,
it's so much damage.
GG.
Holy smokes.
That Mana Worm is growing to unbelievable sizes.
Talk about explosive. And XieShuai thought he was going to live till Mountain Giant this time. If Mountain Giant comes down, he's just dead on board.
Yeah, I mean, even if you pick up Immortal Coral to go with Demon Wrath...
Even if he had Hellfire, he's dead on board.
Yeah, this is essentially...
He needs Reno, and it needs to cost 4.
And he needs his opponent to have nothing in hand with...
Holy smokes.
I mean, that's it. Just like, turn 4 kill.
Turn 4 overkill by a billion. Look at this.
This is unbelievable.
Yeah, he's got, you know, 6 overkill on turn 4.
This is kind of like a coin Alexstrada's champion into Alexstrada's champion.
Kills both Feral Spirits. It's absolutely insane. He has the ability, you know, to hit that the 1 and 3 here to go for the Spell Power Totem to guarantee
I was
the
going to
rolls.
say, do you ever just forego the Trog for the 33%? and set up more totems.
There it
Oh
is!
my goodness!
Absolutely huge. They're able to take out a lot of the RNG by taking an RNG.
Well, it still has the high rolls anyway.
Yeah, it still had the high rolls, so he would have gotten it and been able to develop the 3/3 Chog if he. He also does have a Lightning Storm in his Aggro Shaman deck.
That's true.
So if he's able to pick that up, he can make quick work of the totems. Like, he doesn't win the game if he, you know, trades with every single minion that Xixo has.
Oh, man.
Because he'll just run out of damage then. He needs to, at some point, turn on the guns.
Well, here's the scary part. That's not the only Valiant you're going to have to deal with.
Oh, the double Valiant totem.
That's really,
Holy
really
smokes.
scary for XieShuai. He has to deal with this guy. But look at the damage waste.
He's
You have to push
he's going
face
all
almost.
face. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like you must commit, but
If he trades, he knows he's going to lose. He's going to run out of damage.
I mean, Xixo's going to be rejoiced to see this. This could actually
Rejoiced
just
or
be,
scared?
I don't know.
That could be a lava burst in XieShuai's hand right now, and he could be looking for a little bit of damage to
man.
close out the game. So,
Oh, you just hex your own stuff.
yeah,
You get Stoneclaw guaranteed here, right?
Oh, yeah, it's true.
Anyway,
But then, what trades do you make to try and make sure that you're not gonna die?
I might surrender some of the health on my.
But you
My
need to make
Valiant.
sure you send enough damage face that you're setting up lethal. So, can you afford to give away? You can afford to give away pretty much all of your minions because you have double Valiant.
I was
the
gonna
following
say,
turn,
yeah,
right?
they don't matter. You just get them back right
Yeah.
away. The sequencing was, by the way, pretty important. It's not a big deal because Xixo would have never missed it, but like you can't trade first, otherwise GG.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to make sure that your minions, you have to buff the totems and then get
So yeah,
more
I think
value.
he's successfully set up lethal for the following turn. So, aside from a storm from XieShuai off the top there, XieShuai is out of luck for this game. So
And Navi
Xixo is taking it.
Is taking the tournament. The first match of the event, actually in the LAN finals, was Xixo versus XieShuai, and it ends on that note with Xixo winning, taking the trophy. Not looking awkward at all. That's great.
Yeah, super excited to get a win here.
Nice framing. That was a great cropping of Xixo's crotch.
Beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So.
But now look at that face. Just says, you know what? I got another trophy in my name.
Yeah, another trophy. Xixo's been on fire. He's this is now his 5th